it's Wendy. It's the video you've all been waiting for, Wendy's hair curling tutorial. I've gotten a lot of requests from friends about how I curl my hair, so I wanted to get a basic video up showing my technique. I've used this technique on lots of hair types, and while some tend to work better than others, overall it's pretty effective. So first, of course, you need your curling iron. I swear by Hot Tools curling irons. I think they're the best out there and for the best price. If you have longer hair, you need to use a larger curling iron. If you have shorter hair, you want to use a smaller one, about 1 inch or smaller. You also need hair clamps. They're like $3 at a beauty supply store. And finally, you want some heating products. I use the Tresemme Thermal Creations because my hair holds curls pretty well and it's just to protect from heat. However, if you do not hold curls well in your hair, I would suggest the RedKen Hot Sets. You just spray your hair or each section right before you curl. Start by brushing out completely dry hair. It can't be damp at all or it won't work. This is hair that I just let air dry. I don't wash my hair every day, probably every other to every 3 days. And that's honestly just because my hair is so thick and it's a lot of work. You can wash your hair as much as you want. I hear so much about how bad it is to wash daily. And honestly, being the daughter of a chemist in the makeup industry, it's just not true. If you're using a high quality shampoo, your hair is protected. And if you want to grow your hair longer, which a lot of girls seem to want to do, washing your hair more regularly will help keep the roots of your hair free from oils so it's easier to grow. Here I am taking the top section of my hair, which I call the mohawk section, and I'm gonna curl this section first. Okay, so here we go. I take that first section of my mohawk, about the width of the curling iron you're using, and with the clamp facing away from you like I just showed, you clamp that hair and hold on to the ends, and then I gently turn the curling iron while loosening the clamp until the ends are underneath that clamp. So right now my whole hair is wrapped around the curling iron. I wait for that to get warm, and then using a fingernail, not to burn yourself, gently pull the curl off the curling iron and secure it with one of those clamps to the top of your head. You'll end up with this kind of like snooky hump on the top of your head. Do the same thing to the next sections. I usually do 3 or 4 on this mohawk section on the top of my head. So again, clamp it with the clamp facing away from you, gently pull it around the curling iron, wait for it to get hot, and then gently pull it off the iron. When you're done, you're going to end up with this crazy do pinned at the top of your head. Now we're going to move over to the 2 sides. I usually start on one side and then move to the next. So you're going to take this section that's just above your ear, and I divide it into pieces that are about the width of whatever curling iron I'm using. Then, with your clamp facing away from you, clamp the hair and turn it towards the back of the room. Again, I'm loosening the clamp, pulling until those ends start to get under the clamp. And then just start to repeat on the other side in the section above your ear. Finally, we're going to move on to the bottom layer. I have about enough hair for either 4 to 6 curls, but you can judge what works best for you. Take each section and you can kind of curl it whatever way you want at this point, because it's the bottom of your hair. So I will curl each section and then usually let it just pull out the curling iron and very gently follow the curl and pin it back up on my head. Then you pinned your last curl and you're finally done, and you can just rock this hairstyle for a while. This is usually the point when I start doing my makeup. You want to wait for those curls to be room temperature, so you'll test them out and see when they're cool, and then just pull out all the clamps one by one. The final step is real simple. Take your fingers and gently run them through the curls and shake them out to give them that loose, voluminous effect. I like to position my hair kind of how I want it to lay for the rest of the day. Before using a hairspray. I use a very flexible hold hairspray, but if you have trouble holding curls in your hair, I would expect you to use something a little bit stronger. And there you have it, friends. Wendy curls just for you. Let me know if you have any questions, and thanks so much for watching.